Hey YouTube, am I on now? I am now, okay. I was right, no, okay, right. Bear with me. Pop out chat. Bring chat over here. Make it the box smaller. Slide it up there. Hey! How's it going, everyone? Oh. Top chat again, not all chat. This is... There we go. We're back on. Yeah, so the live stream actually started 5 minutes ago, but it hadn't actually started. I was just talking to myself. Hey, Scott! Hey, Kit Kats! So tonight I'm on coffee. Yeah. I said I would do it without drinking tonight, but I'll probably just be back on the bucket next week. I'm wearing a jacket because my boiler's not working. And I'm cold. So this week somebody, hey Dave, someone sent me someone was selling Rainbow Long Live Rock and Roll, the record. I was like, oh, I've got that one. I'll need to listen to that again. So I was playing a bit of Rainbow there. Hey Thomas, was it projecting on the wall? No, not the lime sips. No, that was a horrible second half of last week. I think I'm recovered. I'm cold. Oh. Hey, okay, you look like Steve Harris in the thumbnail. I'm taller than Steve Harris. I'll take that as a compliment. I'm not successful for 25 years. Good food, you'll be fine. Yeah, I suppose. Well, what I'm noticing now is what I want is a very tight t-shirt. So any air gaps, so you end up standing like a frame, trying not to let your jumper touch you. All right, it's Stevie Zero. Hey, Yoakum. Yes, it is. Does Steve Lukather a carved top? But as you say, it's the same corner, definitely. I may have to tune it. Oh. I actually dropped a distortion pedal earlier on. I was building another bucky caster with a distortion pedal, had it sitting on, and I walked past and it came off and took a massive chunk out the front of this guitar, which I coloured on with a black pen so you can't see it there, but it's awful. I was like, oh my god, no. Then I started thinking how pleased I was that it was this guitar that got dented and not like one that wasn't mine, basically. Would be the worst case. But then obviously beyond that would be the Kraken or the Corker, or this one's already got hundreds of dents in it, so. But even then, just be careful. Just because I was being lazy and I tried to with one hand carry a strap body with a pedal sitting on top of it rather than moving the pedal and then moving the amp. So don't do that. Oh. Your headstock same colour. I do like the body coloured headstock, has to be said. Even if this one did have the original neck, which it doesn't have. I'll go for layers. Wait, my Dr. Evil top. Oh. Merino wool tight fitting. Oh, there you go. Yes. Basically, when I was out the shops yesterday, the day before, I bought that jumper thing because I was cold. It was great. It's quite like a tight, fleecy thing I can wear in below a jacket. Lovely. Yeah, what else I do? Stranger, back to part 2. It goes again. Yeah, I actually, when I was on the primary 7 school trip to Abernethy, I had Rainbow Greatest Hits on tape when everyone else was listening to In Excess. I thought it was Iron Maiden, but it was that, so I'm loving it. Oh. Yes, Lonnie, I know I've got my May 20 sitting there. In your honour, but I've got the base, which has obviously got the fancy looking one. That one's just painted black. One more rainbow. How come I sound so much better? Because I've not done it yet. I know I've not done my YouTube studio yet. I'm just for sorting things out. You can't see it. I've just put... What I need to do is I need to build storage for all the crap in the YouTube room, which is basically just... About half the floor space is probably there, and the rest is just piled high with amps and guitars and shit. It just needs to be moved about. Maybe J-Pac's influence. Well, sort of, even... A little bit. But I'm allowed to say no to things. It's nice having a bit more room though. I mean, basically I was kind of existing in a room half this size. But what has happened is my YouTube room, I've managed to keep the rest of the... Well, not really. Yeah. But it's nice, it's lovely having my records. Been listening to a lot of records. Great, that's why I would play a lot. Just things like, to be honest, even when I used to have the records before I moved last time, so that was, someone told me it was 7 years ago, I used to have all the records out, but even then, I didn't have them in a system like that. If you look in my old house, it was like it was kind of racks, but it was stuff in front of them, so you had to kind of fight your way in to get at them. Where it's nice having them all there, alphabetical, and now I'm so much better on the guitar. Things like, sticking on that, I didn't even listen to the whole record. That Long Live Rock and Roll, was just jamming along with it. It's like, all these things, because I could hum a lot of this stuff. Just I'd never tried to transpose it onto the guitar before. I should really actually probably play some Deep Purple. And the last time I tried to play along with Deep Purple was ages ago. I don't think any of it's really hard. Hey, Mr. Whitesnake! Yeah, stage wear, cold wear. I've still got my Mad Malco t-shirt on, but I put it on. It's just so cold. So I'm wearing... That was why I put this. My new thing is I like Well, I'm obviously a hoodie person, but see the ones with the zip up the front, because it means you can sort of regulate your heat. If it's getting a bit hot, you can just unzip the front. If it's getting a bit cold, you zip it back up again. Victory's bookcases, Rectory ship, very possibly, yes. I do know that the more stuff you've got, it's like, my pal used to always record in his living room, and it was like, and just playing acoustic basically, but his living room was like laminate floors, very minimalist, you know, like a sofa, a seat, a TV, one coffee table, 2 pictures on the walls, very echoey and stuff, and it sounded like awful. Whereas in here, it's the more soft things you've got, the better. But I think this amp is sounding fantastic. I'm really enjoying. I've always been one of those dicks that likes playing straight into the amp, but that's what I'm doing just now, and I'm loving it. It takes away. I mean, even just now, I'm sitting here with one pickup as well. So I mean, my choices are clean, distorted. There's a reverb pedal there, and I've got a tone control on how loud I play. That's it. So it's like, yeah. Absolutely freezing in our gale, yeah. I'm kind of quite high. I don't know, it's funny, I went to Kirky, what day was it? Last week. And it was significant, it must have been about 5 degrees colder, and it's only 5 miles along the road, and it's not higher up or lower down. Just goes to show. Maybe a wee bit east here. People kind of were on the border of people saying Ken here. It's not big time at Sailors, no. They're higher than normal though, it's not 2.4s. What are they? Maybe 2.8s or something like that. Prime 60s council house or whatever. I guess this is. I mean, yeah. Yeah, the thing is, my when I moved in, the tenant, the landlord, came round for just they get the letting agent to do I could send someone round, make sure everything's okay, and make sure you're actually who you say you are, and you're not growing weed. I think basically things like that. And I was, the heating working okay? And I was like, I've not actually turned it on yet. All right, so basically I did turn it on a couple of days later, and it came on, and then I think the actual wee switch on the side of the tight, I can't get it to turn back on again. It's really annoying. I think everything's working apart from the actual physical. You get the time clock, and there's a wee plastic lever on the side that sets it to on, off, or timed. That switch, it really does feel shit. I think the actual switch is physically broken. It was just by complete fluke that I managed to turn it on first time. So I'll be phoning up about that tomorrow. The reason I turned it on, the reason I turned it off is because I kept waking up fucking 4 a.m, pure sweating to death because the heating was coming on at 4 a.m. for 2 hours. Although I think, to be honest, what's happened, I've got people upstairs. I think quite a lot of the heat from them comes down, maybe. Ignited big bit before chaos, how's it going? Yeah, the boot sale this morning. I didn't go. Obviously, JPAX did. What did she bought? I can't remember. Actually, bought a fancy mic stand. Oh, yeah. What parts of the original this guitar? Basically, just the body. I got this in America. And brought it back. It was actually given to JPAX for painting, and then. So that's it. So DiMarzio, the one that was in my Ibanez Paul Gilbert, in there. I can't remember which one it is, but it's a fucking amazing pickup. Pots are new. The electrics are new. This bridge is a badass. It was on my BC Rich Wave when I bought it. And that's a bit of foam to fill in the gap where the tremolo system used to be. And I don't have a back plate, so what I did was I just wired it really, really tight so nothing rattles about, so it doesn't need a back plate. Clever, eh? Yeah, and this neck is CSL, and obviously it's a very blazery or a very roadstery shape, but this is 7 1/4 radius, 7.25 radius. Don't get roasters with that, so it's the only one, maybe, probably, possibly. No, I'm sorry, I lived in an attic for years. I'm used to cold. It becomes difficult when you try to do a washing and try to dry your clothes, though. It's not cold yet, but I mean, it was more last week. When you're not well, like I had some sort of flu, COVID-y type thing, and I kept getting these mad shivers. It seemed to come from the centre of my spine and then kind of come up over my neck, and then I would be like, oh, and then I would feel really nauseous for 10 minutes, and then it would sort of go away. That kept happening. It's like, oh. That thing where your body kind of goes, I'm either too hot or too cold. I'm not really sure which one it is, but I'll just make you suffer anyway. So you're kind of like, I don't know, am I to put a jumper on or take my top off? I don't know. It's horrible. Yeah, the badass bridges, these are the ones that are not on the 20, was it 10,000 or 20,000? I think it might be £10,000 Gibson Iommi guitar, because they couldn't get enough of them. So it's got a fake badass. Got my own. Oh no, it's not mono. No, I've got the VU meter there. It's definitely stereo. The guitar should be more coming out of that side, and the vocal should be more coming out of that side. But this is not a guitar I would technically have. It's not one I would expect. If like, I want you to build me your dream guitar, it wouldn't be this one, but it kind of would me now a little bit. I really like the wrap over bridge. And if you don't have, the tendency with me is if I've got lots of switches and stuff, this happens very much with the Corker. I spend the whole time playing really clean stuff because it does all that Hank Marvin-y, Mark Knopfler-y type thing really well, whereas this one's just got a humbucker, so I'll have to play rock on it, which is nice. Oh, I don't know. That's the thing. The best guitars are definitely unintended ones. Basically, there's not that many guitars I've got and still got that were intended, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you've been, I've been looking for one of those for years, but hang your washer it when it's freezing, the wetness turns to ice in a couple of minutes and you shake it off, leaving everything bone dry. I have heard this. Is this not when you've fallen into the... It might have been Top Gear, when you do the survival thing where you fall in, cut a hole nice, jump in, and then you've got to get out and then you've got to take your clothes off and roll about in the snow? Is it maybe something like that? An Epiphone Wiltshire, I'm not sure I know what that is. Some randoms who just mess me up my guitar. I got a 51 custom shop telly if you're prepared to pay extra. Depends how much extra. Give them an extra 20 quid. Yeah, there's so much faffing about with selling stuff. It's a nightmare. It really is. You do occasionally get nice people, and sometimes it works fine. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, you just get told things. Oh, Wiltshire is the corner up with the two pickups. Okay, I know the one it is now. Yes, I know it's like a... Is that the one that's a double neck telly? It's a double cutaway telly kind of thing. There's one that's kind of square like a telly, and then there's one which is kind of like that, but it's a bit rounded, and it's not quite as even-sided. To be honest, I'd never played one. I always thought they looked cool as fuck. I remember when they came out as Epiphones, probably 10 years ago, and they weren't cheap. They were quite expensive. They were like 300-400 quid, and I played it. Wasn't that good, but they've got a thing. The lad downstairs. Andy, the singer in Sabbath band's having a terrible time as well. He's been ill the last couple of weeks. So last week I got a message. I was like, "Oh, sorry, you've got it as well, man. It's fucking nightmare. I've been out for 2 weeks. I seem to be kind of all right again, touch wood. So I think it was maybe only a few days. Maybe it was a different thing I've got. Oh, right. Six was like my Apple with the square tremolo. Does Steve Marriott not play one as well? It's one of those guitars that it probably doesn't happen anymore because you've now got the internet. When I started playing, you would get out the library one of these, the history of guitars or the 100 greatest guitars in the world type books, and you would look through that, and that was always one that popped up in the 60s. This is at a point when they weren't reissued or anything like that. Got the cornet, it's fun, was really play it. I don't know, I mean, you never really know until you get. I mean, there's lots of guitars I like the look of, but if it's too, not saying it isn't robust, it doesn't look it. Do you know what I mean? The same way a Gretsch never does or a Rickenbacker never does. It doesn't look, it's like a fancy shoe rather than a work boot. Like a steel toe cap worky boot. I think kind of this has elements of that. Most of my guitars do a little bit more. Less, not so delicate, even though I don't mean construction, I just mean the way they look. A coronet is also a trumpety thing with no buttons on it. I wonder if that caused any problems in the 60s when it came out. Got the Fender up for sale and keeping this on Mustang. Quite right. The problem is I suppose, is this still my newest guitar? No, I've got that white telly. I was playing the white telly next to the black telly the other day with the two of them, and they're both awful good. I like them both. The worst thing is, all I've got left now is 3/4 of a can of Pepsi, water, and I suppose I've got soup and coffee. That's going to be tough. Maybe go and get a bottle of Bucky first thing in the morning. It does seem strange not. It's funny, it becomes a crutch, doesn't it? Not because I want a drink, it's just because I'm so used to just stopping, unscrew the top, having a drink, then looking to see what anyone else is saying. A coronet, and a cornetto is maybe okay. Yeah, well, these things are on a foot, man. Hi. A coronet's a crown, a cornet, yeah, and a cornetto is. Yeah. So look out for an SG. I've got an SG for sale. It's a bit of a good one, no Kit Kats, you wouldn't want it. There's actually one, there's a Japanese one I keep seeing, I think it's still on Marketplace, I'm pretty sure I saw it this morning. Is it I can't remember what make it is. Is that an Aria? It's not that expensive, but it's a bolt-on one, which I'm fine with a bolt-on neck, but the problem with an SG is, because it joins so high up, the neck, they have to move the neck further into the body so there's enough room to put the bolt-on neck plate on, so they end up kind of stumpy and not quite right looking. No, Kit Kats, I think I did a video of the other day. I've got a Westfield one, just a standard. It just looks like the standard. It's basically it's pretty much the same as the Epiphone one I've got. The Samick Korean one, but the same age sort of thing. Good. Columbus SG, was that the same thing I'm talking about there with the bolt-on neck? Therefore, it's kind of the neck kind of comes into here, and it doesn't. Just because I'm used to looking at pictures of Black Sabbath, it's like it doesn't look right. Hey, Aunt Wales. Even though for wet and windy Wales, it's wet and windy here as well. I don't know if it was particularly wet. No, it was. It was pretty horrendous earlier on. I looked at the sun came out earlier on. I thought I looked at that, you know, you kind of catch out the corners up here. Oh, that's nice. I'll have a look at. You look outside. It was just basically the reason it was so bright is because the sun was shining on sheets of rain, and because you know the light was hitting off the rain, it made it much brighter. It was very nice. But not warm. Oh. Yeah, Irish Pilot. Well, it's like, it does look, it's like I can see it there looking cozy, but it's fucking cold. The universe thing is real. I don't want an SG and see loads of them cheap and look good too. But I don't know. For me, the SG was the guitar I wanted first. There wasn't really any. Obviously, my first guitar was just a cheap Strat copy, and then it was fucked. And then my first guitar after that was an Ibanez. It was a Yamaha RG type thing with Floyd Rose, which worked. I bought it because you could play all the notes on it, and then by that time I had easier an SG. A low in mid Columbus on eBay, bought on Nick, but it was an early one. It looked too much like a K. I know the exact. Well, it's exactly the same as a K. I know what you mean. But it's just a lot of these companies would be making. They would obviously sell more cheap ones than they did expensive ones. But a Columbus Les Paul's not a Columbus Les Paul. At the time, I'm pretty sure they would have sold one for £100. There would have been £100 model, but there was also a £180 model sort of thing, and they get all mixed up together. Same thing happened with the Squire JVs, which were people always like the Squire JVs are amazing. So all the Squire, anything that's a JV Squire, but there was 3 levels of Squire JV. There was like a sort of a 100 series, a 300 series, and a 500 series, and they were kind of like, you know, like it was about £100, £300, £500. So the £500 one is better than what Fender were making at the time, because it had Fender hardware, but it was made by the Japanese. So those ones, but they just say JV on them as well. So, but they're all now worth thousands of pounds. Mad how good things look on camera. Got an interesting one this week. A guitar by, I've moved my pointers right behind it. Evolve. Matte back finish. It's a flame top underneath. I think pink. All right, cool. I haven't heard Evolve, no. But I mean, you just never know. It's like, it's pretty rare to get a guitar that wasn't made by somebody else. You know, the vast majority of these things, if you buy one that's a bizarre make, you can buy exactly the same thing because some business or some group of shops has bought 100 Stratocasters from X factory and they put this brand on it. But at the same time, other companies were buying that and putting a different brand on it. I've seen it before. I'm pretty sure that talking about that Westfield SG is the same guitar as the Epiphone one. It's a slightly different spec, but everything else, it's like just the way it's built and the quality and the type of finish on it, it's all exactly the same. Coming to that time of year in Scotland where it's cold and wet and dark. We've been there for a while. Yes, I have already started noticing that since moving here, it's gorgeous in the morning. The sun would come up, shine in my face when I'm in bed, and then at night, for the sort of last, I don't know, from sort of 7 o'clock at night onwards, the sun would come in here. What's happening? Lovely. And then now, the sun doesn't come up, but when it does come up, it doesn't come up behind the house over there, and then it doesn't come in the front at all. So it's like, it's going to get quite dark here, because like so the sun comes up there and sets there, and that's all wall. So my windows are on the back and on the front, and it's like kind of, oh, sorry, I'm talking too much and getting I'm not catch up. I'm going to try and catch up with everyone. But Columbus Strat. Yeah, but I mean, again, I bet you that Columbus Strat's exactly the same as the Ibanez or the Antoria or the thing. Maybe, yeah, it totally could be. Leeds bodies and next made in Korea, shipped over with finishes and hardware done in Leeds. It's loaded in tone as a battery box. That sounds interesting. Did they claim to be made in Britain? Because they normally do, don't they? Hey Michael, Antonio used to make a half reasonable SG custom copy. I'm sure they did. Again, the problem with these things is maybe, or maybe not Antoria. I definitely, came across this with an Arbiter. I had an Arbiter EBO. Avon Rose Morris, Denmark street shop, and I've still got it. I've actually turned it into a 6-string, but an EBO, and it's, at the time I didn't have the Gibson 68 EBO, and it's honestly 90% the same. If I hadn't put 6 strings on it instead of 4, and it wasn't a bolt-on neck, you wouldn't know the difference. It was amazing. And then my pal was like, up here, sent me a picture of one on eBay. He's like, up here, is this the one you've got? And I was like, up here. Yeah, totally. That's exactly the same one. And he bought it. And he's like, a week later, he's like, I got that guitar. It's shit. And I was like, oh, really? Because I look at it, and it was nothing like it. It still said Avon Rose Morris. It was still thingy, but then everything, the body was plywood, right? That's fine. The neck was plywood on its end, and the fingerboard was plywood that way, and it was like everything was just on it was just shit. It kind of looked the same. Like the tuners looked like the ones that were on the Avon that I had, but instead of like you get 4 screws that hold it on, 2 of them were fake screws, and it wasn't metal; it was plastic. And it's like, what the fuck's going on here? So just that was Avon, and they're the same sort of thing. Maybe one year it's good, next year it's not. Sent me an email about stringing your Les Paul Bigsby. It was fine. I know how to do that. It's all right. I'm not really in any danger of buying anything with a Bigsby. Well, I'm never going to fit a Bigsby for one of my own guitars, put it that way. Antoria Les Paul. Yes, one of my favourite Les Paul I've ever played is actually an Antoria. It's a gold one my pal Gordon's got. Fucking brilliant. Bolt on neck, but it's just like, it's so Les Paul-y, but it's not that big hunk of dead. So, this has got tons of sustain, but it's got no spank whatsoever. It doesn't have that. You have to get up from the way back into it. Yeah, no, there was a guy used to build acoustics. I can't remember, somewhere in the central belt of Scotland, and it was basically I think he was just putting his own logo on Chinese built ones and selling for 400 quid. Yeah. I don't know, but this, when you're talking about the Tesco's, I don't know, it's like, they're fun, but they're very like, I feel a bit like Dan Electros. Dan Electros are cheap. They sound cheap, they feel cheap, but they're cool. And they're not cheap. So it's a bit the same with the Tesco thing. See, if they were going to be 50 quid, I would probably really quite like them because they are sort of quirky. It's just when you start going, that's 300 quid. For 300 pounds, you're talking, you can get a couple of these. You know what I mean? There's just no... Avon up here, I've got to look like it's built with Stevie Wonder. I saw a YouTube thing on the Stevie Wonder being able to see thing. And he makes jokes on people. That's why this happens. He makes jokes, and he's got like his pals, his minders or whatever are kind of in on it. So he will know things in advance. Who's going to be at the party? He'll. But yeah, it's one of his favourite jokes apparently. Bigsby's look cool, do they though? Do they? I don't know. Tone Riders. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I just think all modern pickups are good. Any ones you buy on their own, not necessarily. I still think there's an element of, if you're buying the £100 Epiphone, then they intentionally don't put really good pickups in it, so that so you buy the £200 Epiphone, even though the pickups probably only cost 10 pence more to make. You can, whereas if you're just buying them from scratch. But it depends on what kind of pickup it is. I'm going to work out what kind of pickup this is, because this is the kind of pickup I want. I like this one, this DiMarzio. Some pickups I don't like. some I do. Doesn't matter whether they're expensive or not. A Gould Shock. They're taking an SG Junior. Is it pink? They're normally, but this one's TV yellow. That sounds fucking brilliant. I nearly bought one. There was one I kept looking at on eBay, and the price kept going down. It was the pink one, and I think it went down to something like 60 quid, and I was like, right, fuck it, I'm buying it. So I looked at the advert, and the neck was, it showed you a shot down the neck, and it just did that. Like, not, okay, it went to like 45 degrees. Like, you know, a bit of a twisted neck, though, but still okay for slides. You're like, but yeah, I don't know. I've had a few gold sort of had bad twisted necks, actually. But I think if it's not twisted now in the first 10 years, it's not going to twist, yeah. I think Cantorias were Fujijet. I'm not sure, Michael. It's like when it comes down to these wee guitars, I don't know who makes them. I'm not even sure that it was one factory that made all these guitars. You know, I'm talking about the Cantorias, the CSL, the Tempest, the Japanese copy that you could get your brands put on. I think it was kind of almost more of a. There was like a company that you ordered from Japan, like you're coming from Britain. You order from Japan, I want 100 white Stratocasters at this spec. I don't think they've had a choice which factory it came from. I think some of them are Matsumoku, some of them are Fujigen, some of them are Dyna. It just depends who had enough time or put the lowest price in to build them or something like that. Start winding your own pickups. I've thought about it. I don't know. It's just like I'm not that kind of geeky. It's like I'm not really that into numbers and stuff. I can't be bothered. I love the idea of, you know, making something completely different. Or you could make pickups out of, I don't know, different shit, something completely unique. But all you're really doing is using that. Oh, I think I'll make a DiMarzio type using, you know, whatever magnets they use. I don't know. It doesn't really appeal to me. It doesn't sound like fun. I'd like to do it, but maybe one day I'll do it. I don't know. Back in the 80s, America, Japanese Tesco's were rarely available in every corner pawn shop. Had one, didn't want one. Yeah. No, I mean, these things are... The thing is that even the few times I've picked them up, I've not really had very many Tesco's, but like the Sakai's and stuff like that, I can pick them up in a charity shop or at the dump or something like that for, you know, 20, 30 quid. And I'll spend far too long making it actually pretty good. And if, like, once you get into the sort of hang of how to play it, they do one thing quite well. And I was like, up here, yeah, this is really cool, you know, a 20 quid guitar. And you go, actually, but then I can just sell it in Gumtree for 200. So even though it didn't cost me 200 quid, it's not worth 200. Not worth that. I get a couple of these for that. Oh, for break for a few days, spend a week painting a palace flat by the sea. I'm going to spend some time with my Hofter Shorty Strat watching it. It sounds all right. Yeah, do it. Can you play the 8-string bass? I can, yes. Aye. Half the fun is working out what factory guitar is. Oh, there's fun to be had in it. But even it comes down to still not. I mean, I think. Well, I'm not sure. Is it? No. See, this is a. I don't know. This looks like a blazer neck. The headstock looks like a blazer, but blazers were made by Dyna. They had one-piece necks because Fujigen at the time didn't have the equipment to make one-piece necks. So this one could be the Fujigen one, while it gets confusing. Yeah, no, I mean, I love there's so much more fun in trying to find these things. Okay, this one was found in bits anyway, so I know where all the parts came from. This was me that assembled it. But how did that happen? Oh. I don't actually have a bass amp plugged in, so this is just going into that amp to see what it sounds like. And yes, this does have a weird strap button placement because the body's exactly the same shape as the perfectly balanced guitar version. It's not a bigger body, it's the same body. So the perfectly balanced one, it's got an extra foot of headstock on it, so obviously it neck dives like nothing else. So I moved the strap button to there from there. It's fine. Stevie, I did see that he'd done a video on the Cork Factory, but I hadn't watched it yet. so difficult to do the bass. I've got a telly body and iridescent sparkle with binding. I've seen the Starcaster neck with the funky headstock for 50 quid. What shall I do? I don't like the Telecaster. I think Mr. Whitesnake likes it. The one, is it the custom? The one that's like a Fender with a Strat headstock. But if it's a funny one, it wouldn't bother me. You may have to do a wee bit of fidgeting to get a telly neck to fit to get a Strat neck to fit a telly. Kind of flatten out the end it. But so if it's just the body you've got, then I would put a Strat neck on it. Yes, it's one of those things. It's a wee bit like knobs on a guitar. You never really know until you put it on whether it's going to work or not. The thing with knobs is you put them on, you go, and I don't like that. You take them off, put other ones on. Whereas the neck's a bit different. And that's what took me. That's been 2 years since I got this body, and I've not actually attached any other necks to it, but I've tried 10 necks in this, and everything was just like, you know, because I've got like a Jap Strat neck. I don't really want a Strat neck on this guitar, and I've got a pointy Jackson. It's like I've got an Ibanez. I've got a few different necks, just in case I find the right one. I definitely quite. I mean, guitars are so fucking cheap now. It's ridiculous. It's hard to. It's just. It's so ridiculous. I mean, back in the times, like, see when Brian May, his dad, built his Brian May guitar. That would have been cheaper than buying a guitar. Do you know what I mean? It's just like now. There's no way you could build a guitar for cheaper than you can buy one for. Absolutely no way. Even if you had all the equipment, the bandsaws and all that and all the stuff, no way. Even to buy the wood. People have cork guitars also enjoy badminton. I used to quite like badminton actually. Clean is the bass. That didn't seem to have done anything. Sounds the same whether it's unclean or not. Strat necks fit tellies, telly necks don't fit Strats too square. Yeah, they can be made to fit. My thing was you either square off you round out the neck pocket on a Telecaster, or you flatten out the curved bit on the back of a Strat neck to make it fit. It's up to you. It didn't work. Yeah, it looks pish. You could put the neck on something else. That's always there, yes. It's one of those things that you're looking at a neck. Okay, you didn't even say it was after. The thing is, it's very difficult to buy a neck. Necks are very expensive. You'll realise this, you're paying £50 for a neck. See that neck? Can you buy that guitar with the neck on it for 50, 60 quid? You know, I keep seeing Squire necks and things like that, and they're like, people are wanting £100 for a neck, and you're like, you can get the whole guitar for that. This doesn't work out. So what I played today, I was just doing my orange TH30 guitar amp. But I mean, this thing is I was going to ask Sloane if her just get this wood, whatever this wood is, in the back of this. Like that. What's that? And the thing is, like, okay, it's got the tiger stripe top on it. The tiger stripe's less impressive than whatever that piece of wood there is, to me anyway. I would rather have this. You can see it's a through neck when you look on the back. I would rather have this on the top, when you can see it's a through neck and it's got this ash or whatever it is, rather than having the. But this was my first foray into ridiculous Japanese guitars. This one, oh. Just like dodgy input. It's like, doesn't seem really loud. the stages are so funky, that shape is class, beautiful and ugly at the same time. Yes, it totally is. I was saying this before when I was doing the video in the black, the A20. It's like, it's an Explorer in so many ways. It's got so many of the advantages of an Explorer, but it doesn't have the big drawbacks. The big drawbacks being as in you can actually lean it against the wall. It's like there, look, I can just put that down there, lean it against the settee and it's fine. And also it fits in a normal case, whereas an Explorer kind of comes out to here and out to here and they're dead awkward. And I always remember this when I was playing the ZZB in the studio. It's like, right, I'm going to the toilet, and it's like, well, where do I put the base? I'll just ended up, you end up kind of lying it on the floor behind your amp or something like that. And it's like, it's just not, doesn't seem right. I think they look stunning though. You get used to looking at them. When I first saw this, I thought this was the most hideous thing ever. I knew nothing about Washburns. I knew nothing about I'd never seen a Washburn stage. I didn't know anything. I didn't know Japanese guitars were great. That's it. I didn't know anything. When I bought this, I just bought it because it was an 8-string bass. The A20, you think it's comfortable? I mean, I think it depends how high up you hold the guitar and all that. I mean, I do like it. My favourite one, I think, well, it's this one, obviously. But I think my favourite one of the guitars is the cheap one, the A5, which is bolt-on neck, maple neck, bolt-on thing. It's got like a Telecaster control on it, and it's like the opposite of this. This is the Van Pla Rolls Royce version with all the extra, every fancy bit they could think of putting on it is on this. Whereas the A5 is like, it's just like a no binding, nothing, painted red, really basic. And for something that's, I don't know, I kind of like the element of that. The tremolo in the A5V is one of the most well engineered ones. Is that the one that kind of looks? Oh no, I don't have the one that kind of looks like the was it a power sustain? Apart from I've never actually owned one of them. No, I do. Which one? What have I got it on? My Washburn Force 2 has that. The 2-point bridge does seem to be very nice. The second-hand matrix is saturated. It seems to go in lumps. A couple of weeks ago, I was saying, there's no interesting guitars on. I keep seeing the same ones. It's pish, pish, pish. And then the following day, I found that white Telecaster, and I've seen... Not any I've actually bought, but I've seen a few and I'm going like that. If I was in the, if I had like 150 quid, 200 quid, and I was thinking, I've not bought a guitar for a year, I wasn't short of ones I would have wanted to buy. Obviously I'm not talking about buying Squires or shit like that. I'm talking about buying good things. It is, yes. That's Jen's latest one. I want to put this down. I'll get it down in case I drop it because it's already sold. But yeah. Being female, having a guitar that fits well is essential, and the A20 is just perfect for me. In other words, you're saying it's got boob slots or something on it? I don't know. Possibly. Yeah. Hey Kevin, how's it going? Bugger, what sold? Oh right, the Kiss thing. Yeah, sorry, you got to follow Jen. I think it was somebody actually offered to buy it off her, and then so she finished it quickly, and then he went, oh. And it's like, having to deal with people. Yeah, it's that whole thing. It's that, it's like if you're just too accommodating. Yeah, it's like people. Jen always says it's always like, no, trapping a nipple. It's not something I've never actually worried about that. Getting a nipple trapped. It sounds horrible, and I'll be worrying about it from now on, though. No, I'm actually really. This is. I've said before. If I had to have one guitar for 6 months on a desert island and you're allowed an amp, it's this I'm having because you can play bass and guitar on it. I'm gonna have to have a wee look at that output socket though. Not performing adequately. That bass does look a lot of fun. Obviously, I'm a bit of a John Entwistle fan as well, so it's kind of got a bit of a John Entwistle look about it. No, I'd say, Kevin, I don't like this headstock at all, but it's the perfect one for this guitar because it matches this bit here. In fact, actually, the reissue looks more like this bit. That's quite a square edge, and that's at a wee bit more of an angle. The reissue one has a wee bit more of an angle on it as well. Also, you can tell if you get a reissue because it says reissue in the headstock. Wouldn't that a nice thing of them to do? Washburn Falcon, the walnut, the rosewood top one. I don't think there is a walnut one unless it's a later on one. Not sure. Yeah, the neck does look very long. It's just normal 34-inch scale though. But again, I think the Firebird's the same. In fact, the Firebird's the same as well. If a Firebird and a Thunderbird have the same body, whereas that's like, if you look at like a P bass and a Strat, they're the same body, but not really. They're the same similar shape, but the P bass is an inch or two longer. That's it, man. Well, that's like I don't really know. I kind of missed it. And I know there's a couple of folk here really don't like Kiss, and I don't. I like the. I know it's just. It's not. Jen get into trouble for doing she did a video with a. Tonight, I'm giving all to you. About you, gonna make me loving you, baby. I can't get enough. I like that one. I don't really know that much. Rosewood, not really the red tinge you get with Rosewood. I would actually say that mine isn't. I think it's actually. Well, I don't know. You've already bought it, haven't you? I think it's Brazilian rosewood they used in the top. That's why it's that colour. On the Yamaki ones, basically, I don't think they made any money selling them. Like Ace, Dance and Kiss. I just kind of missed it. I think I'm just at the wrong age. Only good Kiss song because it's disco. Yeah, well. Ace was Kiss. He designed the logo, wrote all the classic riffs, his guitar trios at their sound. Hey Bob, how's it going? I need to come and see you. Yeah, I need to get some buggers off you actually. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to. I'm going to do a demo of it on the video on that guitar. That's why I've got it there. But I'm going to have to not tell anyone what happened when we got it because Jen came over, brought it with her. I was wiring it up. She put she was like, you've managed to wire it already, right? I need to get a photo. It's like, right, and she'd like, was it black eyeliner or something like that? So she'd drawn the kind of bit in her face. Like, do you have anything white? Do you have any like flour or shit to do? It's like, I don't fucking flour. What you got? What can you use as white face paint? Because I don't have makeup in the house. I was like, So I don't know. It's like you're sitting there going, you're thinking, it's looking at the fridge and just going, no, no, no. There's like the cupboards, no, no. There's like, there's toothpaste. Is that up here? All right, okay, I'm going to try toothpaste. Is that up here? Ah, no, the toothpaste no good. It's blue. There's that. No, there's another type. There's the Arm and Hammer toothpaste as well. Because I ran out of toothpaste, bought the wrong one. So it's white. So she's rubbing toothpaste in her face. And it's like, it's really minty. It's making my eyes sting. So, yeah, pretty silly. And then it got to the point where I was actually joking when I was like, up here. Well, actually, there's like, when I moved in, there's like empty tins of paint in the cupboard. Like, so if you ever wanted to, so you knew what colours it was. There is actually white emulsion. So Jen just used white emulsion on her face. Yeah. But we listened to, I'm stuck on the disco, the special 8-minute or 12-minute disco version of I Was Made for Loving You, and I was like, here, actually I've got what's meant to be the best album, Destroyer. It's a well famous, everyone loves it one. Put it on, and I didn't like it. It was like, I was kind of expecting it was good. I remember listening to the one that nobody liked, the music from The Elder, and I really liked, there's one song on that I pure love. It's really weird and fucked up and everyone hates it. I liked it, but I really, Destroyer was like the first song was one of the big ones. I want to rock and roll all night or whatever, and then there was a couple of songs that were pure awful. There was like a Gene Simmons shit bass riff one. It was like, oh god, it was terrible. Guess it's Stafford Bingley Hall. Oh, I thought you said not Bingo Hall. Sounds better than Bingley Hall. I started about download a couple of years ago. How would you do the Ace smoking guitar thing? I don't know. And there was thought I was going to put it, when Jen said she was going to paint that, I was like, oh, I'll put in, a third pickup and all that, and it's like, nah. Yeah, I'll look it out, seeing as I'm not going to be playing any Kiss because I don't really know any. I used to be one of the band I was in years ago, 20 years ago. The guitarist was a big Ace fan, a big Kiss fan, and I really enjoyed playing the songs. Oh, it doesn't have a. No, just go for double controversy and put a rainbow strap on it, because rainbow straps. You got rainbow straps. People were wearing rainbow straps before you got gay people, so there you go. So it's fine. Oh. A lot of space in your place. How's the acoustics in that room? You can turn. Well, yeah. There's other people though. So make sure I don't have any zips or anything touching this, and it'll. But I mean, it's like Jen doing Jen's portraits. The art's never made any sense to me, but her portraits are awful good. He looks quite smug as well. Up here. Here, yes, I'm awesome. Seems to be still in tune as well. How am I getting on with the Trace Elliott? I've not actually done anything with it yet. I cleaned it. It cleaned up really well. I tried using I've got a wee Ashdown amp down there. I was thinking because it kind of matches the sofa and it looks cool. But it's just too loud for in here. It's like there's a fan in it because it's a 180 watt. Same with the Trace Elliott, it's 250 watts, so it's got a fan in it, and it's like, oh no, you can't hear the fan when you're at the gig. But if you're sitting watching, if you're in a room with no noise at all, you know what I mean, apart from the faint hum of the the fan in the computer, it's like you can't do that. A vape, I mean. If you don't want to push your guitar, you can use what's essentially a vape with a few other bits. You don't really need, all you really need is basically, you've got your middle pickup, hole with a fake pickup on top of it. What about just a straw? Just a straw, and you just, like, if you want to, you can vape and then just blow the smoke into the back of it, or get somebody who does vape to, get some vapor at the side of the stage to vape and then blow it into like a bit of fish tank tubing or something like that. If you really want to do that, I don't see why not. Miss all the guitars hanging on the wall, different ones every live stream nowadays. I know, they're coming back, Kevin. I've got because this place is rented, I need to ask to put a piece of wood on the wall, but the room through there will have 10 guitars on the wall. There aren't really any. I don't have room for them here in this room. The plan was this room was going to have 2 guitars in it, or maybe an acoustic, a bass, and an electric. And there's like 10, 20, 25 in here, something like that. Yeah. Australian guy did a Kiss tribute, modded efforts, but it's got it with lights in the body, proper racer. Why not? You have to cut the smoke every few seconds as you risk venting your battery. I tried vaping for not very long, and I just didn't find it a relaxing thing. I'd just give up smoking if I had to. I thought they were one about Kiss. They are satanic. No, I mean, I think the first I'd ever heard, I mean, I'm talking at all of Kiss, and maybe recognised the logo, with the sort of swastika S's. I sort of remember that, but I mean, I'm talking about not knowing that until the first band I was in, Michael the guitarist, like the Crazy Crazy Nights, which might have been Crazy 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 Nights. I don't know, is that still Kiss? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I totally just... There must be some way of getting smoke that's like sort of... I'm trying to think, you get those... I don't know how they work, though. The things, it's like a sort of water feature type thing where you get like a wee bit of the Shire or something, and there's a wee sort of crappy water feature thing. You often get it in Chinese restaurants for some reason as well, where there's some sort of mist coming out. How does that mist generated? 2 to 25 guitars sounds close, but we tend to work. Yeah. A proper vaping? Oh dear. This is like, how can you proper vape? Building your own cause? I don't know. Maybe I just found it was not a relaxing thing. Maybe I just couldn't work out how to do it. It seemed to be, it was like £100 the vaping thing. This is going back a few years though. And it was like, that's not really doing anything. That's not really doing anything. Oh my God, it's like fucking taking a bucket or something. You're 10 minutes coughing, eyes watering. It's like, yeah, that's not relaxing, man. You know what I mean? I'm just not bothered with that. Well, these be actually what I thought was quite funny is this is a guitar that Jen said she was going to paint, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, because I saw a thing 6 months ago. It was a guy I went through a Kiss phase. I didn't listen to him, I just watched, when you click on one video interview thing and then you end up watching 10 of them. That was what happened, and they were talking about, I've completely forgotten what I was talking about now. See, it's not the booze that does that. Douche flutes. Is there art in the back of this guy? Yeah, it's just the all round. I don't know. Yeah, it's also the back of the neck, like, which is really only for the person playing it. Also, for some reason, I noticed it says, I don't know why it says freely Kiss Ace JPAX rather than Ace freely Kiss Ace freely. Whatever way round, it is what it does. Cheaper than smoking. That's probably, yes. I'd imagine. It is amazing how much vape some people can get out of vape things. When you obviously see it in cars, like the car in front of you. It's just like they've obviously just opened the window because the whole is just like, it's like it's a smoke machine. There's cheaper ways of getting better tone there. And like a glam rock ice cream. Yes. No, it's not hundreds and thousands. It's the, what are they called? Licorice somethings. They're like kind of jelly bean shaped, and they're in these exact colours and sort of cylindrical and hard. What are they called? It's on the tip of my tongue. The name of them. Oh, but yeah, totally looks like it. You to balance nicotine levels with output ohms. It's like dying out in the mass on it. Yeah, I'm putting this down in case I dent it or scratch it. It's an expensive guitar, this one. So how much do you pay for it? Just again, look at how. And look at Jen's current finishes. Look how shiny that is. It's sort of satin, but there's no longer lumps and runs. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's his body. It's his spacesuit. No, I quite like it. Put it back up there so I don't damage it. And yeah. Go for the A20 then. I have heated up a bit now. I think talking shit must generate heat. Oh. I haven't put strings on this. I'm sitting there with two packets of elixirs that are going on a guitar, and I keep changing my mind which guitar they're going on. Licorice Torpedo. They're called torpedoes. Yes. That flashed through my head for 2 seconds. That's really weird. It's exactly the same feeling as the bass, apart from that you don't have two strings under each finger. Kind of bizarre. Where's my tuner? It just hasn't been played since last week. Oh. A mech mod with 0.1 ohm dual coils, 30 amp batteries. It sounds interesting, yeah. I mean, you should be the one. Maybe we should do a wee. Can you make them so that basically they just smoke and they don't necessarily? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't need nicotine. It just needs the smoke. I will fit them to a guitar. Smoking bucky casters could be a thing. Yeah, but what's good? Let's see that. These strings are old. It's just, actually, this one's got a weird bridge on it. This is like, these are not the original saddles, but the bridge, see, the metal L plate and the block in the back are one piece of metal. So that the block isn't joined onto this plate. It's the same piece of metal as this plate. I don't know how that works. So these saddles, I just basically put them on because they look like the ones that are on the brass ones. It's got the big block. Big block for tone. Oh. Big, I share a home. The 2000s, these existed. Actually, I saw a thing. The reason I looked it out is I didn't actually click on the video, but it was like embarrassing guitar things, and it had the keep out. What's the other one? The radioactive. Is this? This isn't a police. Is this a police keep out? No, the other one's the police line do not cross. I remember them kicking about. But if you watched my videos, if you were a proper fan, Kit Kat, you'd know the reason I put the yellow strap on is because I was wearing my yellow shoes and yellow jumper to match. Oh, so this one just didn't have a strap on it. So I'm finding this a bit. Oh, maybe I'll get some clean on the go. Problem is, this is a very loud guitar. These power sustained pickups are super loud, but low ohms. you're not gaming, Mr. Whitesnake, are you? I don't know. I struggle with the gaming thing. A lot of people spend an awful lot of time gaming, and it's like, I mean, I'm guilty of I play F-Zero on my wee Nintendo Switch, but I can't be doing with these big long ones that take ages. If I'm going to be spending 6 hours doing something, I'm going to be writing a symphony rather than playing a game. Too bad Richie Blackmore didn't have it. The thing is that these things, you got to look back at the reason this is a common thing when people are talking about the Les Paul's the best guitar, and it's like at one point, if you wanted that sound in 1968 or whatever it is, and you wanted to sound like Eric Clapton or Peter Green, that was really the only way you could do it was with a Les Paul. And then by the time it got to later 70s, 80s, the guitars that could do it, it was purely down to this. There's nothing. There's maybe you might prefer elements of this over the Gibson or vice versa, but it's not. The Gibson's not a better guitar. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound better or play better. I like the Gibson because I don't like being different. I don't like being cool. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Kevin, I honestly have no idea why the sound it sounds so good in here. I'm wondering. I think I've maybe just mic'd it up better, but also before I always had the amp behind me, so I was always listening to it from behind, whereas now it's actually pointing at me, so I can hear it better. Maybe, but my settings are dead. It's dead easy to tell what the settings are on this amp because it's only got 6 knobs. So 3 for the clean channel, 3 for the dirty channel, and the volume is as low as it goes before it cuts out. Yeah, so dirty gain is at 11 o'clock, dirty shape is at just before 12, and dirty volume is at, what's that, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, so like 1 or something, aye, and everyone else is at half. There's only 3 knobs. It's just good guitar, and not having anything else in the middle, it definitely makes a difference. Even if something's not plugged, not turned on, having the clean in, you just get a sparkle you don't get if you've got even a tuner in the mix. It's different. Duck Hunt. See, that's the thing of it. It's Duck Hunt's one of those things a wee bit like that F-Zero game. I could imagine. It's one of those things that, see, after you've played it a couple of times, you're kind of getting good at it. And you're able to do it intentionally, you know what I mean? You're not, rather than, I need to learn how to do this, and what have I got to do now? I've still got this quest. That Zelda game is pure killing me. How's it mic'd? It's basically just a Behringer mic sitting on the floor, an SM58 copy, going into a Tapco desk, into a Lock Chunk USB audio interface, which is one you get on Temu for 15 quid or 20 quid. That's it. So nothing. And then it goes into the computer, and then it comes up here, and I've got a level control there for an overall volume and a VU meter, so I know that I'm not hot micing. That's it. I'm not sure what a Gibson E2 is. Is E2 Explorer the sort of small one? The one that's actually kind of almost more this shape. I don't know. Slowly, the problem is, see, once you get, it's that whole, this is the thing that got me with that 8-string bass. It's, yes, right, I kind of want to pick it up again. It's an 8-string bass, and 4 of the strings tuned from here. It's already cool as fuck. It's obviously super awesome already. So that's it. Basically, if that was just painted black, it didn't have any binding, it didn't have the ebony, it didn't have the through neck, it didn't have, all the brass shit and all that, it would still be fucking awesome. And then they've just gone, we'll just put more stuff on it that you totally don't need. And it's like, it's nice having one like that, where it's like, the no expense spared. I mean, even this one, I feel it's a bad design just because of the fact it's black. You know, I was saying I don't like the fact that you can't on the front of that one you can't see the stringers for the neck through because it's got a cap on it. Well, this one had painted the whole fucking thing black, so you can't even tell it's a neck through. It is if you look inside the pickup routes, you can see the 3 stripes. You know, it's like because it's there. Why you hide it? Although I have not directly conversed with, but through one other person, directly conversed with the guy who designed this guitar. His name's Hiro San. He's on the Daon. Have you ever heard of Daon or Daon guitars? Mr. Whitesnake has one. They're made by Yamaki as well. But the guy, it was 2 brothers started up the Yamaki company, making guitars, and they only had like 25 people working for the company at any one time. And then it was his uncles, his dad and his uncle, this guy, Hero guy, his dad and his uncle started the company, and for a year he went and worked in Canada, learning English and then learning about guitars, and then he went back. They'd already done the Washburn, and he was part of the design of the Wing series, and he designed this. So there you go. It sounded really nice. Maybe if you see another guitar sounds well with the same song, we can all be adjusted to see if it's a guitar. What we're going to play as a song then? Well, yeah, but the thing is, I suppose it's going to come down to this is an 80s or maybe might be 70s Japanese guitar with power sustained pickups. So the one I was just playing there is an 80s Japanese guitar with a DiMarzio, which there's not an awful lot of difference. But yeah, it wouldn't be a fair match. The strings in this are a year old, but yeah. That's just racist Kit Kats. No, I tried to avoid them. I used to wear it used to annoy me because I used to always wear all my band t-shirts. Basically every t-shirt I got when I was like, I don't know, between 16 and 30 was outside gigs buying the t-shirt for a $5 or a $10 when it got later on. That was it. So basically all my t-shirts were black, so it annoyed me the fact you couldn't see any of my guitars. But then I started buying bright coloured t-shirts, so they're less annoying. But I mean, there's nothing more depressing than a black strap with a white scratch plate. The E2 was only cosmetically different to the regular Explorer between 79 and 83. Alright, okay, aye. Oh, is that the one the Edge had? Where it's kind of a bit plainer, maybe? It came in a sort of natural wood. It maybe didn't have exactly the same scratch plate kind of thing. Aye, a bit plainer, aye. Oh, lost someone. I can't imagine that, Mr. Whitesnake. It sounds awful. I could do it. A couple of my pals play. I don't even know if it's Call of Duty anymore. I don't even know what the games are called. I went through a wee Call of Duty phase. The thing is, floating it again, it's that you go back to what you're saying between 79 and 83. So basically, when that's the 79 to 83 is pretty much the run of the original Yamaki ones of these. At the time, the Gibson was probably 20% more expensive than this. Something like that. This obviously wipes the floor with it if you played the two of them. But if you bought the Gibson, then even though, and you played it until this day, you'd been playing an inferior guitar, but it'd be worth thousands of pounds. And I don't actually know how much you paid for yours, but I doubt you, unless it was absolutely mint and some special, it's not going to be thousands of pounds. You know what I mean? Whereas a Gibson Explorer could easily be thousands of pounds. That's the way to love your YouTube channel. That's some great information and entertainment. Cheers, Kevin. I prefer the Ibanez Destroyer. Yes, I would have the do I prefer the Ibanez Destroyer to the Washburn? I don't know. No, but the one that Paul Gilbert's got is pretty fucking amazing. One of the things I kind of regret, I didn't buy an Ibanez Destroyer Bass DT250, which is basically, it was like this, apart from it was black with binding on it, and it was, the guy only wanted 250 quid for it, and I told him that guitar's worth an awful lot more than that. That bass, it's fucking amazing. So 1985, he was like, then I went back in 3 weeks later and he'd had up at 700 quid like that. So I should have bought it, but I didn't. I watched the Edge video of him falling off the stage. I like that, yes. I do think that's incredibly funny. He's the Edge, but he doesn't know where the Edge is. I like the Edge. I don't like his playing or any of the music or his band in it at all, but I like the guy. I think he's funny. What are we going for? Clean and sing? What am I going to compare it to? What have I got lying about? That been wired up yet? That's got no strings on it. See, the thing is, this one's not working. It's a wee bit spanky because the strings are old. I've never... the truss rods... No. Yeah. I bet it's Destroyer is one of those things. Yeah. I've actually got one, that's right. This is already going to tune. I'll put strings in this and I'll bring it back. I'll compare it to the... I've totally not been playing this enough. So you can advise people to buy guitars, but you can't advise people to buy guitars like this. You'll never find one. There only is one. And I've got Destroyer as well. Mine's the X series Destroyer, which at the time I hadn't even noticed. This is going back many years. Elixirs. Yeah, I mean, Bono, he does have a certain amount of pretentiousness, doesn't it? I mean, to be honest, I know very little about it. He just comes across like an arsehole. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's all right. And I'm talking about, when I say comes across as an arsehole, I don't know if I've ever actually watched an interview with him. I've probably heard him say a sentence a couple of times. Just look at the guy, though. What a dick. And I remember thinking that when you two were cool and everyone loved him. And it was like... Sounds like a right prick. I always thought, what's his face as well? Axl Rose looked like a right fanny as well. It's like, he was dancing about with his lycra shorts on. I'm like, that's fucking not right. What the hell? That's pish, that. An eye for an eye. The Soap Girls will be playing in Glasgow the 7th of November at Slay. Alright. And the 8th at the Asylum. Lots of those venues. I almost went to see Arthur Brown at Slay about a month ago, but it was cancelled. Where is it? It's kind of... It's at Merchant City, but... I don't know. I actually was going thinking about going to see the Soap Girls. I think it was probably you told me about them. Was that a couple of years ago? And I watched a couple of videos, and basically I just felt like I would just be pure creepy going on your own, just looking at two birds with their tits out. I felt kind of awkward about going, so I didn't go. Gibbs' build quality wasn't that good, so then I kind of, the Northern era, it wasn't the build quality that wasn't very good. It was the design and their choosing of whatever it was. I mean, that... because I have a Norland Gibson. Oh. Oh. Got a face and cross made for punching, yes. Oh. Yeah, glass retreat, yeah. Yeah, I knew Bono wasn't popular. But that's the kind of thing, I don't know, it's one of those things that was made fashionable not to like him. I genuinely don't like him for no real reason other than I've been told to not like him. You know what I mean? I don't know. No, I don't think the Northern stuff's bad at all. It's like, well, the thing is, That, okay, I've got like a 68 Gibson. That's a kind of different kettle of fish a little bit to all the later on ones, but I mean, I don't really think, I can't really think of ever, I've played Gibsons that are really cool, but I've never played one and gone, fucking hell, the build on this is amazing, you know what I mean? It's like, I've got Japanese guitars, it's like, but they're cool, they're worth more money. But the Norland era used to be bad. I don't think it is now. It used to be a case, I mean, I remember American Strats, you could pick them up for 300-400 quid. It would be a 70s one though. One of the shit ones, you know what I mean? It'd be the 70s one. Now try and find a 70s Strat. £2,000 or whatever because everyone's got them. Oh. Did anything happen there? Right, okay. I've moved my computer, so I've had to extend the HDMI cable, and that's well, I've been on for an hour and a half, and it hasn't cut out yet. It just went blank there, but I think it's just the TV that comes out of that. So, yeah. No, I mean, Gibson had some silly ideas, but it's that whole thing. I don't know, I've got a guitar book, I think I actually gave it to Bastard Scott now I think about it, but it was buying an electric guitar, something that was from 1982, and it was basically all the guitars you could get in 82. And it was just, the thought of at the time was, oh yeah, it's fine, but it's just a Telecaster. Telecasters are old, you don't want a Telecaster. So they were trying to do, I've never heard, the Norland Pancake Buddies are separation, really? I've never heard that before, ever. I don't know, but I mean, again. Borrow red iPod. But I was saying about like the guitars that we're talking about. It was like the guitars that were getting good ratings from 1982 were the interesting shapes. It's like, you know, it's like something like I think the Washburn Stage. It was the A15 that was in that book, and it was like it got really rated down for having single coil pickups when it should have had humbuckers, and it was basically it was one of those annoying ones. It's like, man, you've looked at the range of Washburn Stage series and you've gone, okay, there's the two humbuckers, there's the three single coils, there's the two humbuckers, or there's the two humbuckers, or there's the bass. Give me the three single coil one. Oh, this one should have humbuckers. This is shit. You know what I mean? It's annoying. Partial nudity of the show, the music's rocking and very entertaining, gets well with the venue, the sound taker down and lots of spirits. No, I mean, to be honest, it's like, I mean, the bass player must get annoyed all the time with folk going up just trying to look at her Destroyer. Because she plays a Destroyer bass, yes. No, I mean, I do, they do have a certain, I just wish they didn't get the boobs out, and then I wouldn't feel like a mad creep going to that thing. I couldn't go to a strip club or anything like that, but I just feel creepy. Even though you're meant to be when you go there. I don't know, maybe if someone else wants to go, I'll go with someone else, not going to my own though. And they do have a three-piece thing going on, and they're dead tight, so that's really what you have to do. You know, it's like, if you're able to play as a three-piece, what a difference that makes. You know, it's like, it doesn't have to be particularly difficult things you're playing, but if there's like, you know, guitar, drum and bass, and you all go bam, 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 ba at exactly the right time, it sounds fucking huge. It's much easier to do it that way than if you've got lots of instruments. You don't get the same power. That's why I like Black Sabbath and The Who and all that. I've just got the three-piece. I've never been to the Dancing Girls in Town. No, I do remember my pal's wife got him a. Where was it? He went on a works night out or something like that. It was one in just behind the City Youth Centre, and it was his wife got him a calendar from it, and it was just obviously the calendar doesn't have sound, right? But it was like, obviously looked through it for a laugh. He's like, I was looking through it, and it's just like every one of the girls in it just looked like a total Glasgow Senga, and they were just looking at the camera, and you could just hear them going, "When you looking at?" Awful. You got to change your Fender Strat for a custom for $1,000. That's amazing. Sleazy go-go dancer pubs down Leith Docks. I don't know. I suppose I could probably handle if there was like go-go dancer sounds a bit more, I don't know, sort of girl sort of dancing in the light sort of corner, but I don't find it fucking, you want to kill me, give me a lap dance, but fuck off, Jesus. Pure, don't know. Obviously it's a very old, what do you call it, profession, one of the oldest in the world. I'm also too cheap to pay for these things. I'm not fucking... How much is a drink? What? An Ovation Deacon. I'm not sure. Is that an acoustic? I know the Breadwinner, because my pal got one, and I remember seeing it. It used to be in guitar magazines, and it was Steve Marriott sitting going, "By gum, this is the comfiest guitar I've ever played." I remember that, or something like that. It's the advert, and it's Steve Marriott with his wee cheeky chappy moustache and all that, and having a shot of him going, "No, it fucking isn't." You look, it's one of those things. You look at it, and it looks really uncomfortable and kind of lumpy and awkward, and then you put it on and it's really uncomfortable and kind of lumpy and awkward, kind of like that. Go-go dancers or strippers? Okay, then there you go. I'm not into it, but there you go. Guys go to watch strippers to get off. Women go to see guys stripped to have a damn good laugh at them. Well, you whatever you say, whatever your excuses are, that's fine. I don't know, maybe a team of us going to this. What was it, 7th? That's in a couple of weeks away. Get a team of us going to the Go-Go Girls, what are they called? The Soapbox Girls. Go and eye up that Destroyer. It's like an old original 80s one as well. Right, I'm now getting nervous that it's the telly just cut off again. Amazing. Oh, it's a weird shape. Ace Frehley had. Have you seen there was a Washburn Ace Frehley as well that was somehow shaped like a lightning bolt. Looked a wee bit like the Music Man St. Vincent, almost a cross between that and a flying V kind of. It was kind of a weird thing. What's the right? You just get employed. Is this a tarp supplied? Pull the tarp to the sides. Go dances later. I don't know. Let's be honest. We're sitting here talking about Japanese guitars or go-go dancers and anything about such things. It's like one of them I know quite a lot about, and one of them is like. Or they even get names. Melanie is playing a yellow Destroyer bass. It's not a red one she had before. Some of the new music is grunge style. I think it got me as well. It's like, I get, yeah, they've got an awful lot of songs, but they're dead simple. But why not? Why not just write throwaway ones? I think they've not got about 20 albums. I don't know. I didn't spend very long looking at them until. But they're just never going to make it. It's a shame. I don't know if they would have if they did keep their clothes on. I don't know. Why not? I just feel it's a wee bit. They don't think they need it. That maybe that's what annoys me. So I don't think they need to be, because they're actually quite good. There's plenty of girls you see playing the guitar who basically are shit. But that's not all girls are shit in the guitar. Doug's telly Strat. So was it a telly or a Strat? I don't want to be Doug. Not all Japanese guitars are fucking amazing, but there's a fair chance. There's a good chance it will be, especially see if it's from. I seem to have a magic number of about 1983. Couple of years before or after that's when they're brilliant. Once you get past sort of 85, 86, they start becoming a bit super stratty 80s, and then he started making them cheaper and moving to Korea and stuff. And before sort of 1980, the either of that, they're a bit expensive because they kind of overbuilt them to be super fancy. It's like, we're going to build a guitar that's going to compete with the Gibson. It's going to have all the top of the range, everything on it, rather than we're going to make one that's as good as the Gibson, but a quarter of the price. We'll make one that's 10 times better than the Gibson and cost 10% less. A Westone Thunder 1. There you go. Can't go wrong with a Westone Thunder 1. In many ways, the best guitar. The thing about the Westone is that a lot of people I don't know how many have I played. I've probably played 10 of them, more than that. But obviously, that's just Thunders. Obviously, I've played Spectrums and all the other ones as well. And it's like, oh, you should have a shot at my Thunder. And it's like, there's no point because they're all the same. Which, I'm not saying that in a derogatory term. It's just like, if you get a Westone Thunder, I know what it is. Unless there's something wrong with it. So, I played a Westone Thunder and it was shit. Oh, what had happened to it? Oh, it was just a shit guitar. All right, what, has somebody changed the pickups in it? Had somebody adjusted something? No, it's just a shit guitar. All right, had it been dropped? Had it been damaged? It's like, it's not like, because it was not shit. Somebody's made it shit. Unless it wore out or set fire to or something. And sort of mad head flu. I had that last week. Hopefully it'll just go away. Just bought a Quest Attack. One for years, one looked like the Vox White Shadow. Right. There was one. Yes, I know that the Attack. There's one on eBay just now if you look up Quest Attack, but it's not an Attack. It's a Quest Classic. It's really cheap. It looks fucking amazing. It's an HSS. It's a Tushin built. It's BBR, so it's black with the red lines on it, and it's a Washburn Force. Like, once Yamaki had gone under, Tushin were building Washburn Force guitars for a few years, and then I think they just kept the design and made them under Quest. But I think, as far as I know, they're Tushin built, I think, or they were at one point. I like the name, like a Quest Attack or a Vantage Avenger, you know what I mean? A Washburn Hawk. So up here, yeah, what have you got? Yeah, I've got like a 335. Oh. Got a Flying V. I've got an RG127. Oh. It's like an SG. Fuck. Let's have some proper names. Westone Pantera. The black version of the Quest I have, probably, yeah. I don't know, there's a lot of one of my pals who runs one at the Dayon site is always going about these salvage guitars, and it's like, I have seen like actual salvage guitars where it's clearly like a guitar's been damaged at some point, maybe in the factory, and they've cut the headstock, put another one on it, sort of thing. But there's also, I think, an element of nobody's trademarked these shapes, so we've already got the jig for making the Washburn Force series. So other company comes and goes, well, we've kind of got this shape. What do you think of this shape? We'll obviously give you a different headstock and, small appointments, but the rough idea. I think that's what happened. Yeah, I in my head, I can sort of remember. Is it not a little bit like this? What's the one that's a bit like, it's got these hooks on it, but if it doesn't have like, the sort of carvy inside, it's like a flat top. Is that the Quest Attack? No, is that and it's like this but upside down, is that a Manhattan as well? I can't remember. How music styles and shows are performed sometimes shock and plays to the audience. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, how do you get me? The thing is, it's like, almost by design, I'm not going to like something that's popular. You know what I mean? So the stuff that I'm going to love is always going to be a bit weird, because I don't really like boring stuff. So it's like, if you're going to do I suppose it's like if you're going to make a guitar, what guitar do you make? It's like, well, you're only making one guitar, so you make a Stratocaster because that's the one everyone likes. You don't build something interesting that only 10% of people will think's cool. Same with music, innit? You can do stuff that other people have done. Do the Oasis, just to aim for the lowest common denominator. everyone will love this. There's nothing offensive in this at all. Nothing interesting happens at all. So if there's nothing happening, what is there not to like? You know what I mean? It doesn't have heavy metal guitar or guitar solos or awkward timings or any difficult bits or any of that, you know? It is. I mean, I would be tempted to buy it. But the thing is, I'm such an expert at justifying these things because I've got too many Washburn Force guitars. I've got like a single humbucker, a double humbucker, and a 3 single coil. And I'm looking at that going, I don't need another one. That one's an HSS, isn't it? So I don't actually have that one, but I'm not buying it. But if you were looking for a guitar for like, it's just like, think of how many, somebody who buys that by mistake. You know what I mean? Some kids, him and all his pals are all going to get a guitar for Christmas, and they all buy, you know, a twice the price Harley Benton or Squire with their, you know, their Jaguar or whatever the cool guitar is at the time, and you just buy this shitty Quest Attack at the Quest, and you've got the best guitar. You've got a guitar that's better than all your pals, not Nick's guitar, but Nick's guitar after that, after they've gone Squire, low-end Fender, American Fender, you've got there in the first pop. Oh, Wells, you're buying them at an alarming rate. The thing is, I'm kind of... And I understand, I had to move house, and oh my God, how many guitars I've got. I mean, my bedroom has... Basically, it's a big bedroom. See, when you go in, so the right-hand wall, the same size as this room, the right-hand wall, there's that much of it, which is basically just if you just imagine taking 2 feet off the whole... And that's just the hard cases with guitars in them, piled up to the roof. It's like, And it's like, I've not taken any guitars out of any hard cases at all, because that takes up more room. If you want more room, put all your, you know, rather than having the guitars there and the cases over there, you put the guitars in the cases, it takes up half the amount of room. I mean, you're paying £225 for one of these guitars. And how interesting is that? And it's like, it's fucking super interesting. You got to find out where it is. You know the quality is going to be there because it's 80s Japanese. It's a mad shape that no one's ever seen before, and it will sound fucking brilliant. It'll be all Gotoh hardware and all that. There'll be nothing shite about that guitar at all. And it's £225, which gets you, doesn't even get you the, what was that, the Harley Benton I had, the deluxe one with a baked maple. It's fucking shite guitar, that was. And even after I spent a whole day trying to fix it, and to make it play, you know what I mean? Yeah, oh, you can make a Harley Benton play well. It's like, yep, give £200 to a guitar tech and he'll make that play as good as it can. Oh no, not play as good as a Japanese guitar, but... Do you have a favourite obscure band? Well, it's like, what's obscure? One of my favourites is a band called Caravan. I keep getting messages. Caravan, look at that album cover. That album is absolutely amazing. I used to actually play all of it bar one song live in my band. It's obviously been a 70s prog. It's like, and it's like one of those, see how you get the album that looks like the cover, or sounds like it looks. This album sounds like that. Yeah, sort of Lord of the Ringsy, hobbity, fictional land of grey and pink. Yep, that's what it sounds like. Belter. Yeah, so Caravan. Is that one of my favourites. But what's obscure? Because I mean, I think they were commercially quite available, sort of. Jessie Ray. Oh, I totally. I mean, the thing is, even if it wasn't, it's kind of in the same range as that. I mean, like this guitar here. This is a. I mean, design-wise, so this is a different design of guitar. Obviously, this one's been J-Packs. This is a lag, a lag jet or a jet lag. So you've got a kind of looks like a Godin or something, where it's a different shape, but is it mad enough? Obviously without the paint job. So you get 24 frets, and it's kind of Some things in this were actually amazingly designed. What was it I thought was amazingly designed? What do I think was amazingly badly designed? I remember being really impressed and then being really disgusted at two things almost immediately. One of them was, see where the output jack is? There. And the cavities here. So you've got to thread the wire through that amount of, which is almost a fucking nightmare to put another cable, another wiring, because I couldn't get the crumply up wire taken out to fit through the hole. That was the bit I wasn't impressed with. The thing I was impressed with, I can't remember what it is now. There was something else. I was like, that's a really fucking good design. Well done, whoever it was made this. Nah. I'll do a video of it and it'll remind me. RRP265, there you go. I'll remember what the other thing was that it did. That was like, well done. I can't remember what it was though. It was a good one. Half as much clean when you keep the guitars in their cases. Yeah, but the thing is, slowly it comes down to the point of, what's the point in having them? They're in their case. What's the point in me having? You know, it's like I'm gonna try and cut down. Just sort of, I'd love to. I just don't have time to play because I've got too many. I don't need any more. I only need one guitar. I only need this one and a bass. That's it. But sometimes it's nice. Maybe it encourages me to play an awful lot longer because I'll pick up a guitar and go, oh, I've not played this in ages now. And it's like, oh, there's amazing. And everyone's just slightly different. Unless you've just got a room full of West Tone Thunders, in which case they're all exactly the same because they're so well built, but they're all designed to be different. You know what I mean? But this guitar suffers from having this 6-way switch, so it's got all these sounds, so I always end up using wanky clean sounds. Because nobody else can make these sounds. When actually it's got a DiMarzio in the bridge position, which is all you need. New scales. This has got a really bizarre neck on it. See, this neck, see the carve here, it's exactly the same here. Well, okay, it must get wider, I suppose. But it doesn't feel like it gets wider. And then suddenly it just gets wider when you get to this big chunky bit here. But here, this guitar has a super... The neck here feels like it does here, so it's kind of like a bizarre thing. But that's what I mean. It's like, the thing is, commercially, this is a stupid idea. I mean, the guy never sold this. It's like, that's why I ended up getting it so cheap. Or it was so cheap before I got given it. Whereas the two Telecasters sold immediately because, oh, that's nice and boring. No, let's try and improve things. Let's have something a bit different. I'm saying that, but obviously I've been building a few. I've got the new Iron Brewcaster. I'm just going out and getting the Blitzkrieg shop. There's 17 sounds it does. I like this stuff. It just makes it more interesting. Ultimate Spinach, late 60s psychedelic rock. I mean, to be honest, if I'd ever seen an Ultimate Spinach record, assuming the cover's as good as it would sound, I would have bought it. Oh, you got a Johnson there, Mr. Whitesnake. There are Johnson. Was it? No, it was Fullerton. No, was it Johnson that had a USA model? As in the model was called the USA. Yeah. No. It's not nothing to do with being made in America. No. The model's called the USA. Quest guitars. Is that the one? The one that's kind of almost. It's almost that shape. but it's like, but it's got sharp edges. What more? One more than a vintage Gibson or Fender. Yes, but I've got to say, well, what's the point? I've already got. I mean, if you weren't, how could you have like tens of guitars and not have duplicates? Really? You know, people say, "Oh, I've got 30 guitars." All right, what kind of guitars? You've got Strats. You know, there are people who have, and it's like I remember being amazed at that when I first got the internet and I was looking up, joining the Fender Strat Club, and it was like the Ibanez is bad for this as well, and it's like pure yes. Oh, here's my Strat collection, and they literally have 12 red Strats as your guitar collection. It's like, yeah, I've got a 97, and I've got a 98, and I've got a 2010, and I've got a 2011, and they're all red, and one, oh, this one's got, you're like, but ultimately it's up to yourself, but I would want different ones. I was going to say Nantucket Sleigh Ride Mountain, I've got that, yeah. I don't think when was the last time I saw it? No, it's not one of the ones that I can read the spine on. It must be a bit knackered. But yes, I've got Nantucket Sleigh Ride. It's one of those ones I can't hum it to you, and I can't remember the riff. See, as soon as the opening notes sound, I'll be able to hum the whole song. I just can't remember which one it is. Fever Tree, 60s heavy psych band. It's kind of funny, the sort of psychedelic thing, the way when it came out, because the psychedelic movement was like Sgt. Pepper's in Britain, and then you get the Move and stuff like that, but by the time it got to 68, that was it. There was no more. The Move, everyone just moved on from psychedelia, and it became, the White Album, Beggar's Banquet. It was like, we're all grown up, and America were like, up here, no, they're still psychedelic. So you get like psychedelic stuff in America from 68, 69 was when they were big, and it's like, but not over here. By that point, it was like, no, back to the rootsy blues and all that. You have 8 Ibanez Roasters. That's pretty bad there, Mr. Whitesnake. I've only got 2. It looks like an Explorer Crossbar and Iceman. I think that might be the one. That's the one I thought was an Attack. I maybe no. I know what the Vox White Shadow looks like. So it's kind of wonky. Aye, it's basically it's like an offset, but instead of going that way, it goes that way. Only able to listen to about 2 million songs in a lifetime, and after the tens of millions of songs, that's it. And then the amount of times I've heard Oasis where I could have listened to other things. But there's music There's music I hate, there's music I absolutely love, and there's a lot of music I'm just kind of like, well, yeah, whatever. What's pointless? It's alright, yeah. I got that one down to a hard rock Hell festival, where one of my pals and his brother and whatever, a group of us, and they were listening to an awful lot of modern rock music, and honestly, there was nothing there for me at all. It was all, is that Thin Lizzy? No, this is... They all seem to sound like Thin Lizzy or something like that, and it's like, I love, that era of music, but if it just sounds exactly like that, that's not really doing anything. I obviously have bits of that in it. Green Slade, yes. Yes, I've got a few Green Slade albums. Yes, Bedside Manners Are Extra. Was that the first one I got? I can picture the cover. The one with the guy with the sitting cross-legged. With what's his face? Roger Dean doing the logos. Iron Butterfly. I only know the. And Gentle Giant are too expensive. What was the one? Beggar's Opera was one that was very similar to the, quite good. Big Brother and Holding Company, yes, I've got one of their records as well. One with the cartoons in the cover, quite good. Yes, I'll have to listen to Ultimate Spinach. I would probably, to be honest, I would probably buy the T-shirt just because it's called Ultimate Spinach. I bought them to sell, yes, I understand that very much. But it's like, sometimes it's kind of almost relief that I don't have to keep this one. You know, if I buy a guitar, if I get a guitar and it's going to be a Buckycaster, or I'm going to put some wiring in it or fix it up and sell it, it's dead. Sometimes it's just nice and easy. It's just that I've got this problem where it's got that Japanese thing going on where it's like, in some ways this is the best guitar in the world. It seems to happen with nearly all the guitars I've got. And it's like, even when I was looking through them, obviously I looked at every one, every case when I brought them all over here, and it was like, so many of them, it was like, oh, fucking this guitar's pure amazing. Just play it for 5 minutes, it's fucking brilliant. And it's like talking about pretty much every guitar I've owned. Obviously, I've got some that are going to get fixed up to sell, or that's the plan at some point, a future project. Apart from them, the ones that are better than, I like better than any guitar you could buy new. You know, I could go into any guitar shop, looking at all the new guitars, and I like this guitar better than everything in the shop, and I've got lots of guitars like that. Just my thing, you know what I mean? And even if it comes down to, you know, oh, what do you mean you like your £200 Roadster better than a 10 grand Strat? And it's like, well, if you put the two of them up against each other, maybe the 10 grand Strat will be a better guitar, but it's 10 fucking grand, so no. So it's like, there's absolutely no way it's going to be 200 times better. There's absolutely no way it's going to be twice as good, you know? I'm also enjoying playing without reverb as well. I know it can be used, it's an effect. Fuck effects. Flowers, carry pistons, zittles, lemon, chill, gato, white runs, apple, banana, strawberry alarm clock. What was it? Electric Prunes. I had too much to dream last night. That's pretty good. Who else is on my? The Move. Check out The Move. The Move are fucking amazing. It's pure. But the thing is, it's like, when it's obscure, they had a lot of top 10 singles in the 60s, but they never sold anything past the 60s. There's bands that were big at the time that never did anything. I think, I always felt that wee bit with Deep Purple. How come Deep Purple weren't huge? Whereas, well, they were the biggest band in the world at one point, but Pink Floyd are so big and everyone pure loves them. They're not. But they're that much. Pink Floyd are better than Black Sabbath? I don't think so. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. They're not. The thing is, you look at it, so you're talking about these old psychedelic bands and stuff like that. It was a band playing, because, okay, you know, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin had 8-track and 16-track things in 1969. Yep, nobody else did. They had 4 tracks, or maybe they had 8, but it was ultimately super pretty much recorded live. So you ended up, and these bands would play every night of the week for 2 years before they get signed. So these were proper musicians. Now, well, you just use Pro Tools or whatever it is and record it, and it's like you only have to play the verse properly once, and then you just loop it for the rest of it and chop it and start it, and then you just learn what your edited version was like a robot. And it's like, that's not fucking playing. You know what I mean? You got to play the solo different every night for 100 nights, and then when it comes to record it, you still wing it. Like, that's a solo. Who was I talking to? I wasn't talking to. I was watching an interview with Rick Wakeman, and he was talking about when a solo becomes a part. And I like that. I like that idea. I don't play part. When I'm playing a guitar solo, I play a guitar solo. I don't play a guitar part. It's not a sequence I've learnt. That's not what a solo is. That's like look at Hotel California. I'd heard they were pretty bad for just being pure fucking boring as fuck. But I saw It was Sammy Hagar singing along with Don Felder, the guy who got booted out 20 years ago. And he played, he played Hotel California, and it was exactly the same as the record. It was just like getting AI to play it, and it's just like, what's the fuck? The solo did, whereas obviously Joe Walsh played it, the record like that, but when you hear Joe Walsh play it ever again, he never played it exactly the same because he was playing a guitar solo, not a guitar part. Sold some guitars to fix the guitar. That's the thing that got me with it. It's like how expensive guitars are compared to cars. I was looking, my car cost. I sold a guitar, that BC Rich Wave, that for more money than my car was worth. Well, I paid for the car, and they were both Japanese pearl white. So there you go. But just, if you were to try and make the seat for that car, the seat must cost thousands of pounds. It doesn't cost you thousands of pounds to make a badass bridge, even though it's worth hundreds of pounds. It's mental. You don't get very much for your money with guitars. That's like for something like £1,000 is not very big, whereas a car's fucking massive. So size is important. I remember looking for a Strat 1970s, tried about 10. Is this brand new? I think there's elements of that, but I think that's where the Japanese were very different. It was consistently. High Grass and High Tide song by the Outlaws. I've got an Outlaws album. That's a thing, mate. It's a Rolling Stones album, isn't it? It's a greatest hits. High Tide and Green Grass. Or best Strat was a straight through CMI copy. Like it's like a neck through one. The only ones I've ever really seen is of the through neck Strat, which seems like a very obvious thing. There's a satellite one you could get, but there's always some. I've never seen one that didn't have something. There's something wrong with the original bridge on them or something. Like I've seen a few that have had wildly altered bridge things, implying that there was something wrong with whatever was on them. I don't know. The problem with obviously a set neck or a glued neck is if you want to be moving the bridge about, you can't shim it to change the action, so it better be in the right place. But CMI, I can't remember who that is, but I think CMI did all these Strats and all that as well. Were they not? Charles Summerfield Limited, that's CSL, isn't it? It was something like that, it's a similar sort of idea. Conglomerate Musical Empire. There you go, so I'm going to give up at that. It's a 2-hour sober stream. I'm kind of missing I'm hating having this fucking plate in my mouth. It is nice having teeth, but it's too tempting to take it out all the time. Really annoying. I never actually noticed I've got bin man elbows on this thing. There you go. Like a bin man's jacket. I was thinking it was a wee bit like Dr. Evil. Oh, the latest. This is let's not drop anything off this. As I said, I damaged my guitar earlier on. There's the next the Brat Bucky Rat pedal. Yeah, so that's all kind of getting ready to go. First Bucky caster from Kilseath. Annoyingly, what I've done is I've just wired the Rat in, but I've not even decided what the pickups are going to do yet, so I'll need to get things working. Neck pickup. The problem again was with guitars is that, see, if you take them to bits and rebuild them, then it's hand built. I mean, anyway, neighbours don't mind the noise. they're pretty fucking noisy. I was when I was moving in, I wasn't sure I was going to get away with it. So I've never had upstairs neighbours before, but they seem fine. Yeah, it's like they're moving upstairs. Like, what was that? What was that you were playing yesterday? That was good. Just asking about. My husband was going, I could even fucking hear you. It's like, so, and even after having done these, like, make as much noise as you want. You know, it's like, okay. Electric prunes are great, yeah. There seems to be a bit of a delay on stuff like that. Electric prunes with our... I've met them. I've got a bit of wood. So it was an acoustic guitar signed by the original bass player. CMI, Chicago Musical Instruments. What's the one I'm thinking of? No, there's definitely one. There's a CMI we could get over here that was something more like Middlesbrough or something like that, but maybe it's a different CMI. The Move Flowers and Rain was, but that's like totally... What up one morning, had to sleep without my blanket in a heap, with all the roses all around me. And I can't take it anymore, but I can take it. I'm just sitting, watching flowers in the rain, watching again. Yeah, no, but they've got better ones than that. Ho, Fire Brigade. My head's attracted to a magnetic wave of sound. Colored circles working the way around. I can hear the grass grow. I can hear I see rainbows in the evening. Love it. CMI was Clear Tour Musical Instruments. Sounds a bit more like it, yes. But there might have been a Chicago music... I've heard of this Chicago Musical Exchange as well, but I think it's just a different thing. We run through the pickup settings on the corker. Okay, I'll do that and then I'll go. I'll do it in clean then. So it's it's cheap musical instruments, it is. Yeah, so it's basically a three-way along the top and a three-way along the bottom. So on the top you've got humbucker and then inner coils and then humbucker, and on the bottom you've got single coil, outer coils, single coil. So bridge pickup, both of them outer coils. Neck pickup single, both inner coils. Bridge humbucker, neck humbucker. Was a huge fan of Roy Wood there, talking about Michael, but Wizard, see, when the Move, occasionally they had Wizard songs in there, you know, the ones that have got the saxophone and they're kind of boogie woogie rock. Don't really like those ones, and unfortunately Wizards are more that element on it. But the last Move albums, when the RELO with Jeff Lynne and stuff, Message from the Country, is fucking one of my favourite albums of all time. I don't think I've got Wizard's Brew, but just because of the other Roy Wood stuff I bought, it all seems to be that saxophone, da-dun, da-dun, ba-da-da-da-da-da, that kind of thing. That's like, not really my thing. They recorded Yellow, and then California Man was a hit, so they had to do another record to be the Move again. Amazing. But the Moves albums are bad. Oh, they're great, but their output was too many singles, the EPs and stuff like that, and those songs weren't on the album. So basically, what you want is the anthology triple disc. It's fucking amazing all the way through it. Right, so cheers everyone. I will see you all during the week, and I'll probably be back on the Bucky this week. I'm kind of missing it a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't think I've got my swagger, my lager swagger. Rock on, and everyone have a great week, and great to see you all. I love you all, and I don't know where